So Trump's only been in office for 6 weeks. Seems like 6 years, doesn't it? And he's been going around with his cronies touting his so-called landslide and blowout win. But he won the popular vote by 1.5%, one of the smallest ever, and he won the general election by less than 50%. So what kind of mandate is this really?
Well, it is a mandate, and I'm going to explain why. And I don't mind the question, but let me be very clear. I'm no supporter of Trump. I'm a supporter of truth and the facts. And here's the facts. The man won every swing state. He increased in terms of his voter turnout in his favor from the standpoint of blacks, Latinos, and young voters. He increased his numbers in that regard from 2020. 89% of the counties shifted to the right. That's a mandate. We can sit up there and play around all we want to. In 2020, Trump didn't win the popular vote. He didn't win the electoral college vote. A matter of fact, the Republicans hadn't won the popular vote, if I remember correctly, since 2004. But they did this year. So 20 years after they last won the popular vote, they won the popular vote. They won the electoral college vote. The man won every swing state. And on top of it all, 89% of the counties shifted against. I don't understand how people can look at that and say, there's no mandate. There's a mandate.
Well, it's a different definition of a mandate, I guess.
But the problem is that if you're the Democratic Party and you lost 49.8% to 48.3%, and you're looking at that 1.5% dip, that's an excuse for you to say, what we did really wasn't that bad.
Some people didn't
we should continue to do that. Don't continue to do that. Find a new strategy.
But do you think those groups, the black voters, the Latino voters, and the others that you mentioned, are they going to regret it soon?
Possibly. I think so. I don't like what I'm seeing from Trump. I didn't like what I saw with Zelensky. I didn't like what I saw with a few things. But in the end, I didn't like it. But in the end, what it comes down to is this. The American people, in their eyes, it wasn't about him. They were voting against what the Democrats were throwing in their direction. I don't only talk to Cuomo. I did interview Eric Adams. I did interview Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. I interviewed these people. I've talked to them. And I'm going to talk to some more of them, too. And I'm going to say the same message. What are you doing to win? I love Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland. I love Johnson Kerr of Pennsylvania, okay? I just interviewed Cuomo. I like him a lot. I want somebody to step up and recognize that man in the Oval Office, whether you like it or not, is potent. He's coming and he wins. You got to find a way to beat him. This way is not the way that the Democrats have been doing it.
Let's talk about how people are feeling about his performance, because a CNN poll this week found that 52% of people disapprove of Trump's performance in office so far. So even though he may have won the general election by less than 50%, 52% disapprove of what he's doing. We're also seeing Republican voters at town halls opposing his executive overreach, giving Elon Musk the shadow presidency.
I also love the propaganda, giving Elon the shadow presidency. He is not a shadow president. He is somebody that Donald Trump has built a relationship with, that he trusts to go in and do what he's doing. They have said it over and over and over and over and over and over again that he finds the information, or him and his team, and then they report what they find to Trump, the president, and he makes a decision. See, this is the kind of propaganda that I hate. I was talking to my sister the other day, and she was like, just again, one of those people that are asleep. And then she goes, well, I watched CNN. I didn't see it. I'm like, you watch CNN? Oh my gosh.
Yet you said, quote, Trump is closer to normal than what we're seeing on the left.
Yeah, I was talking about why he won the election. So? When I made that statement, I was talking about, that was before the election.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
So when during the election, I said, in the immediate aftermath of the election, I pointed out he was voted for because they considered him closer to normal than what the Democrats were spewing. That was what I said at that particular moment in time. Now, obviously, Elon Musk is an entirely different matter altogether. Right. This man is not an elected official. He hasn't been confirmed by the Senate or anything. But
you know what irritates me about this entire conversation, and trust me, y'all, it's killing me to even sit here and watch it and review it. How they're hating on Elon Musk and how they keep coming back to the fact that he's not an elected official. Was Dr. Fauci an elected official, or that other lady that was right next to him during all the COVID crap that was going on? I can't even think of all the people that they brought in, advisors, attorneys. These people aren't elected officials, but they didn't have a problem with it when Biden was in there. They only have a problem with it because Donald Trump is in there, and it's wrong.
But he's got an inordinate amount of power.
Given to him by Trump.
I can understand how that could scare the living daylights out of folks, and the approval ratings. Obviously, we pay attention to that. But here's the bigger question. Who on the Democratic side are the American people pointing to and saying that's the person?
Well,
they don't have anybody yet.
Well, we're 6 weeks in with
National Voice.
Right.
We're 6 weeks in with you know who.
Jeffries.
Everybody said let him do what he's doing so we can see what's going on. So, and now people are saying, well, what are you going to do as a Democrat? Well, wait a minute now. Y'all didn't want to hear what we had to say as Democrats because that wasn't what people voted for.
True.
So now we have a clear definition, and the American people will decide how they like what he's doing because now it's affecting in a way that people were not anticipating. People who didn't think they would be affected, like the folks who work in the federal government, they never saw this coming.
And
They
people can't
never
make
saw this
omelets
coming.
anymore.
Sorry about
That's right.
These people make me sick.
People can make omelets. Everybody doesn't eat eggs.
And I don't know. I mean, I've made several videos about this subject, and it just boggles my mind. I don't understand it. I don't get why. And I don't even want to say the Democratic Party, because I know some Democrats that align with a lot of the stuff that Donald Trump's trying to do and some of the changes that he's trying to make. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know how you fix it. All I can say is I'm glad he's in there, and I pray that, and the thing is, you know what? I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he said, you know what, if I got to pay $5 for a dozen eggs, I'm willing to do it for a period of time so he can get this thing turned around, which I believe he will. Right now, it seems like chaos because of all the stuff that he's trying to do, but it all needed to be done. Okay, even the stuff with the people that work for the government, it needed to be done. The government, county agencies, they get money handed to them from taxpayers, and I've noticed because I've worked in organizations that were funded that way, it wasn't like a business. There's no oversight. They don't care what they spend money on. They waste, just like our government, $10,000 for a hammer. He's going in there trying to change all this, and people are upset about it. You know, if our government was a business, it would have been out of business 100 years ago. Seriously. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this one. I love you guys, and I will check you on the next one. Make sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Take it easy.